Dear grade 11 online students, good morning. Today we are going to do chapter 20, part 3, and the title of this chapter is Varying Sentences. When you write a piece of composition, you need to vary your sentences. You need to write some long sentences, some short sentences. Don't make them short all the way or long all the way. If you use too many short sentences, your writing will sound choppy. For example, I went to the zoo yesterday, I saw the monkey, I played football, I went with my friends. These are short sentences and they are called choppy sentences. On the other hand, too many long sentences will make your writing dull and boring. You need to vary your sentence length to create a rhythm and to emphasize key ideas. For example, insert short, direct sentences to interrupt a string of long sentences. Doing so is an excellent way to drive home a main point. You'll achieve your goal by, again, varying sentence length. Some long sentences, some short sentences. Not short all the time, not long all the time. We have an example here. In 1787, Pennsylvania became the second state to ratify to accept the Constitution. But important political events took place there before this date. This is one sentence. It's a compound sentence, as you can see. We use the comma and a conjunction here. We can make it simpler. We can make it simpler by dividing it into two sentences. We can say, in 1787, Pennsylvania became the second state to ratify the Constitution. I can stop here and put a period. And begin a new sentence with a capital I, delete the word but, of course. Important political events took place there before this date. So I can make a long sentence like this, shorter one in the way we discussed. Let's move on to the second point. Varying sentence beginnings. We can vary sentences in many ways. Again, by using long and short sentences. Another way is by vary the beginning of a sentence. And we can vary the beginning of the sentence in many ways. Another way to create sentence variety is to begin your sentences with different parts of speech. For example, we can start with a noun. Start with a noun. The natural resources of Pennsylvania were of great use during World War I. So we started with the natural resources, a noun. We can start with an adverb. Do we have an adverb here in this sentence? We can put an adverb like fortunately, or unfortunately, or suddenly, or luckily, or amazingly enough, and so on. Fortunately, Pennsylvania's many natural resources were available to the war, and so on. Number 3, start with a participle. We can start with a participle, a present participle or past participle. Having many important natural resources, comma, Pennsylvania was able to the end of the sentence. We can also start with a prepositional phrase like this one. During, during is a preposition. During World War I, Pennsylvania's natural resources were of great use. We have an exercise here. Let's try the first two sentences. In 1861, the first school for nurses opened in Pennsylvania. He wants us to begin with the noun. So we would write it this way. The first school for nurses opened in Pennsylvania in 1861. Number 2, we need a prepositional phrase. The state, we need to begin the sentence with a prepositional phrase. The state then played an important role in the suffrage movement. The state then played an important role in the suffrage movement. So we can say in the suffrage movement, comma, the state then played an important role. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Another way to vary sentences, we can use inverted word order. We can change the order of words within one sentence. For example, If we have a sentence with this form, subject, linking verb, and complement, like this example, the train, this is the subject, this is a linking verb, and here is a complement, we can begin with the complement, then the linking verb, then the subject. Here is or there is, here is or there is the train. If we have this structure, subject, verb, prepositional phrase, we can begin with the prepositional phrase and then the verb and put the subject at the end. For example, the ship sailed on the Delaware River. We can begin with the prepositional phrase, on the Delaware River sailed the ship. Here we have an exercise. Revise the following sentences by inverting them or reversing the traditional order of the words. So the manufacturing of steel and iron products was at one time Pennsylvania's largest industry. We can begin here. Pennsylvania's largest industry was at one time the manufacturing of steel.